Celebrating the connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio, featuring your dream team. Veterinarian Dr. Debbie White, dog trainer Alan Cable, groomer Joey Villani, communicator Joy Turner, and here are your hosts, Hal Abrams and Judy Francis.
And welcome, my friend. We are live from Las Vegas this week, Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It is SuperZoo. What is that you say? What, you weren't listening last year?
Oh my gosh, you got to know what SuperZoo is. It is super.
It is probably the biggest trade show of pet products in the world.
You know, it's so huge. There's so many booths and so many new products. I don't even get to cover half that floor. You just can't do it in 3 days.
Up from 500 booths last year, now 980 booths.
Jeez.
And we're going around to each and every one. We're looking at the new pet products. And we have these new pet products for you. When you hear about the new products, be the first caller, and we will give you one of these new products before they're in the store, you lucky dog.
How cool is that?
And some of them, I can't even begin to explain what some of the products are. We're going to head down to the floor in just a couple of minutes, but just because we're at SuperZoo doesn't mean we're not taking your calls. We absolutely are. For Dr. Debbie, dog trainer Alan Cable, dog father Joey Villani, and animal communicator Joy Turner, they're all here for you. And, of course, Stacy Cohn working very hard in the old newsroom.
Well, apparently this lady who has a horse got a little ticked off that McDonald's wouldn't let her go through the drive-thru on her horse. So what did she do? Oh, you won't believe it. A Happy Meal might have turned into a sad meal, actually, if you were standing next to them. I'll give you the details coming up on Animal Radio News.
What did they do? Wonder if he let out a big poop in the drive-through lane.
You're close. You're getting warm. You're very warm.
Okay.
Very warm.
Hey, Julie, how are you?
I'm great.
What's going on in your world? How can we help you?
Well, my cat I had taken in, and she ended up she's just a tabby, about 11 years old, and she has a buildup in her ears, I guess. And so I'm not a real good nurse, but when I got to the doctor's office, they had kind of swabbed out a bunch of the black stuff. And then they said they're going to do an irrigation. So I read the bill the other day, and it said ear irrigation, but in parentheses, brief. So they brought her back, gave her to me, and I went home. When I called before about the cat, she had acted weird. It took her just about a week to kind of come around. I want to know if, for the reference, because I may have to do it again, does the irrigation they did or the ointment, does it come down into your mouth like things do with people, or if things go in your ear and come down? Would it have made her kind of, would it have thrown her balance off or done something?
Okay. So did this procedure, was this done with her awake, just in the office setting, or was she put under anesthesia?
So we didn't have time for an anesthesia, so I think that's why they called it brief,
Okay, brief. I didn't hear that part of that. So, okay, so yes. Now, cats, I will tell you, are very sensitive with their ears. And it sounds like if she had a lot of gunk in there, she definitely had some work that needed to be done. But in dogs and cats, there is there are nerves that go through the middle ear. So if we've got ear infections, if we've got disruption in the deeper part of the ear, we definitely can have more potential for an inner ear disturbance, or what we call vestibular symptoms. And that can be wobbliness, kind of being uncoordinated. Some cats and dogs might vomit or not want to eat food. They may tip their head to the side. So sometimes that is truly because we've got such bad conditions going on in the deeper part of the ear that it actually can weaken the eardrum or rupture the eardrum. So some of that can happen on its own. Now, cats in particular are sensitive to just kind of actually regular ear cleaning. So even just doing a good irrigation in their ears, they're really kind of funny creatures. They definitely can get vestibular problems after a routine ear cleaning, even if there's not an ear infection present. So that is something to be aware of. Now, in your kitty situation, I think it would be very imperative that we make sure that your condition gets fully treated. And sometimes that might mean scheduling an anesthetic flush. So if it seems bad enough and deep enough, rather than kind of doing things on just the external ear, ask your veterinarian if it's warranted to do more of a deeper flush to try to get to the bottom of it as soon as we can. But anytime with a cat, with any type of ear cleaning, even at your local groomer's place, it's a risk. So once you put something inside the ear, it can disturb that equilibrium that they have. just definitely to be aware of that. And some cats, if you said a week that she was kind of out of sorts, that's not too bad. I had a cat that it was several months that I was treating, and she did have some chronic deep ear infections that was kind of part of the culprit with her situation.
Well, I guess I appreciate that. Then I think that's something for me to watch. And if she does get built back up again or something, then I could ask for something more involved. But then she just acted weird like a week or so ago. Now she's fine,
She's good now. Okay.
Next time I go, see, according to their records, if they think that she needs to be under an anesthetic. Is that correct?
Exactly. And that's something they should be able to just kind of evaluate by putting a scope in her ears and looking to see. So if there's just outer stuff on the outer part of the ear, not such a big deal. And in many cats, I don't even do a lot of rinsing in their ears. If we're just cleaning wax, I'll just clean with Q-tips or cotton balls with a little bit of ear solution on the outer part of the ear. But if there is stuff in the deep part of the ear that they see on the scope, then definitely that would be more the approach we'd want to do.
Okay, well, I think it was just build-up because they said there was a lot of black. They showed me all the Q-tips,
Mm-hmm.
So I think they just thought there was more than they thought. I guess I need to find – they just wouldn't help me over the telephone. I just wanted to know if there was a residue left over like I'm asking you, and they didn't even tell me that, so it kind of bothered me a little bit, But that's okay. I appreciate the information. I'll be aware of it for the next time, and I'll just keep an eye on her then.
All righty. Thanks for your call, Julie.
Thank you so much.
Dr. Debbie and I are going to head on over to the floor in just a couple of minutes and look at some of the brand new items. What was she trying to clean out of the cat's ears? I don't understand what was in the cat's ears.
Well, that's the question, whether there's just kind of routine wax or sebum versus an ear infection. And that's something that, the veterinarian kind of has to evaluate and get a feel for. If it's just routine wax, then I would say back off of those cleaning and just do a little superficial cleaning with cotton balls. But if there's an infection, we can take a swab of that. We can look at it under a microscope and really evaluate and see if we need to treat for mites or bacteria or what have you.
Okay. Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
I'm doing fine. How are y'all?
Oh, I love the southern accent. Where are you calling from, Cindy?
Well, I live in Mississippi, but I'm over in Georgia right now.
Both southern kind of towns. What's going on with your animal? You got a dog? You got a cat? You got an iguana? What do you got?
Well, I've got 2 cats, and my son has 2 dogs, and my son that lives next door's got 2 dogs. And about 6 weeks ago, my youngest son came home with this little puppy that he found laying in the middle of the road. He thought it had been run over, and it got up and walked around, so he brought it home. We gave it a bath, took it to the vet. It was infested with fleas and had the mange.
Wow.
It was only about 6-7 weeks old at the time. Well,
okay.
The vet gave us the dewormer, and we dewormed it. Little belly was all swollen, poor little thing. And it was really lethargic and stuff. He's gotten a lot more energy now. And we did the first 2 dips with the sulfur-based dip.
Okay.
Really nasty smelling. And he also gave us a bottle of some other kind of leave-on dip or something another that you just put on them and then wipe it down or something other later on.
Okay.
But it's been about 6-7 weeks now, and we've been keeping him out on the porch. And I just want to know, is it safe to let the other animals around him now? Because I guess we're going to end up keeping him because we just kind of fallen in love with the little thing.
Okay. So the big question I have is which particular type of mite your veterinarian did diagnose your baby with? Did they say if it was the Sarcoptes mite or the Demodectic mite?
He didn't say. He just told me to make sure we all washed our hands because it would spread to us.
Okay, so that's probably the Sarcoptes mite, which is, some folks call that the red mange, and that potentially is a type of mite that can be contagious to people, but they don't really like people. This kind of mite, they prefer critters, but it is very contagious to other critters. So I will tell you that for Sarcoptes, usually the lime dip is one of the things that we can use to treat that. There are some other things we can use as well, some different types of either ivermectin or selamectin that can be done on a monthly basis. So sometimes we'll add that in if we've got a particularly bad time with it. If we're treating everything appropriately, most pets will get over this within just a matter of a few months. And it's just a matter of kind of what else is going on. A lot of dogs with mites will often have secondary infections on their skin. So they'll get a bacterial infection. And so we need to make sure that, you are staying close with your veterinarian because a lot of times we'll have to to treat with an antibiotic on top of some of these other things as well.
He is getting his hair back, and he's more energetic. He does yelp every now and then. We can't figure out why he's yelping. It's almost like he's in pain once in a while. And we search him, we try and look, see if there's any more fleas on him or nothing, and can't seem to find anything.
Yeah, and you said that he had some other problems with the worms and such. So have those things been checked up with the vet as well to make sure those are gone?
No, I'm out on the road, and I haven't had a chance to get home and take him back to the vet.
Okay. Well, I mean, it sounds like, you're hitting everything with the appropriate medications. It's just going to be a matter now to decide when we're going to be done and over with this. Really, what I like to do is to make sure that we can prove that those mites are gone. So normally that's going to be based somewhat on physical exam. So we're going to see that the hair's looking better, the pet's feeling more comfortable, we're not itchy, scratchy. But we really need to prove that those mites are gone, and we do that by rechecking that skin scraping. So I would make sure we keep up with the protocol until we can do that, and hopefully we just be a matter of another few weeks or so, and you'll be done and past that.
So I need to take him back to the vet before I put him out there in the fenced-in area with the other dogs.
Absolutely. You need to get that final clearance from them.
Okay, great.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Call the Dream Team now with the free Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android.
This portion of Animal Radio is underwritten by Fear-Free Happy Homes. Don't forget you can get your fix of Animal Radio anytime you want with the Animal Radio app for iPhone and Android. Download it now. It's made possible by Fear-Free Happy Homes, helping your pets live their happiest, healthiest, fullest lives at home, at the vet, and everywhere in between. Visit them at fearfreehappyhomes.com. And thanks, Fear-Free, for underwriting Animal Radio.
Hey folks, this is Jackson Galaxy. You're listening to Animal Radio. Please do everyone a favor, spay or neuter your animals today.
Thousands of authors across the country have written books and published them with Page Publishing. If you've written a book, they can help you through the process, cut through the confusion of the publishing world to make it easy for you. If they decide to publish your book, your work ends, theirs begins. From copy editing and proofing to typesetting and book cover art. Plus, get your book printed, distributed, and sold on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and in bookstores across the country. They even help promote your book. Biography, self-help, mystery, novels, sci-fi, or even a children's book. No matter what genre, Page Publishing can bring your book to life. And don't forget to ask about audiobooks. We do all of this for you. Call today for your free writer's guide packed with tips, tricks, and templates to help you finish what you started.
800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. 800-215-6815. That's 800-215-6815.
Hi, this is Tanya Tucker on Animal Radio. Love those pets.
You're listening to Animal Radio. Here's Hal and Judy.
We are back on the floor at SuperZoo, Mandalay Bay Convention Center in Las Vegas. It is SuperZoo and the new pet product special. And if it sounds like I've just eaten a peanut butter bar, I have. And you know what? It is a peanut butter bar for dogs. Very, very cool. I'm at the Dog for Dog booth, and I'm hanging out with Rocky Keever. Hey, Rocky, how you doing?
Hi, I'm doing great. Thank you.
I've never heard of Dog for Dog. What is it?
Well, thanks for asking. So Dog for Dog is a very simple model. Whenever you buy a product, we donate that product to a dog in need. Yeah, I love that idea. Now, how do you find the dogs in need? That's the question. So that is a good question. It's actually one of the more difficult parts, but exciting and rewarding parts of the business. What we find is we say animals in need so that we're working with shelters, with rescue groups. We're even in situations where we're working with homeless people and providing products to their dogs that are in need.
Oh, you gotta love that. So you're helping when you buy one of these products. Now, I went over there and someone offered me one of these peanut butter bars, I guess is what they are. Yeah. And I said, well, that's for the dog. He said, no, you try it. I tried it. It is very good. Are you sure it's for dogs?
Well, it's actually delicious. We started this company. I had a couple retail stores in the Los Angeles area, and I was doing rescue days and adoption days, and we'd get 2 or 3 dogs adopted out. It was really fantastic, but we got to a situation where we realized we weren't doing enough, and the only way we could really help on a national level is to get people involved. Because people are good people. We all want to give. We all want to help. It's just not always convenient. So I thought, okay, if we can make this convenient for people and really give them the opportunity to give, they'll do it. And sure enough, it just spread like wildfire all over the place. And what we've done is we make all, a couple of our items, they're human analog, right? So a nutrition bar, you're used to this. It's something that you do. So you think, well, that's a really good idea. If I could take that with me, have it in my car console, have it along with me, anywhere I would have a nutrition bar, my dog could probably use one as well. There's a huge gap between breakfast and dinner for a dog. Yep. So, but yeah, with the nutrition bar, it doesn't taste bad at all. It is for dogs.
It tastes good, and the peanut butter too. I got to tell you, I don't personally eat peanut butter because of the hydrogenated oils.
Yeah.
That are in it. I mean, they're not good for you. That's not in this case. You guys don't use that.
That's right. So what we've done is we've got a product called Dog's Butter, and we take out all of the hydrogenated oil, salt, sugar, soy, and in fact, some of the peanut butters in grocery stores don't even have peanuts. So, wow. Yeah. So we've stripped it down, and then what we do is we put things in there that dogs need. Flaxseed. We have coconut for skin and coat. It's got lauric acid in there, so it really helps with the dog's skin and coat. We've got a dog's butter that has ginger in it, so it helps with the dog's digestive system. But basic human quality ingredients, all made in the USA.
Where can we get it?
So you can get it at Petco all the way to your local store in your neighborhood.
I love it. Is there a website we can learn more?
Yeah, you can go to our website at www.dog4dog. That's just DOGFORDOG.com.
Pretty simple, and you buy some and you're helping another dog there. Let's go ahead and give away a jar of peanut butter. What kind are we going to give away?
You know what? Let's give away our best-selling, the skin and coat that's got the coconut in it. It adds a certain sweetness.
And it's dog butter, right? It's not peanut butter, it's dog butter.
That's right. It's dog's butter. What's peanut butter? I don't even know.
Okay. Thanks, Rocky, for hanging out with us.
Hey, thanks for having me, guys. Really appreciate it.
Dr. Debbie. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Boss is sampling all the fares along the way. He's getting a full belly.
A lot of treats there for him to try out.
It is. We're breaking the rules for this special visit.
Well, this one's going to be special. We're going to let him try some of the Zooks product. With us, we have Grant Berry from Zooks. How you doing?
I'm doing terrific.
What's new for you this year?
We have two new products. The one we're most excited about is called Skinny Bakes. It's our new baked crunchy treat. It's an oatmeal and barley-based product. It's vegan. They're low-calorie. They're only 10 calories per treat.
Now, if it's vegan, the dogs still like it, right?
Dogs still love it, absolutely. Absolutely. The other new product we have is two new flavors of our number one product, Mini Naturals. We're doing a delicious duck and a tender pork recipe, which this will be our first duck treat, which we're pretty excited about. New protein source for us.
You gotta love that.
And actually, my Labrador Magnum eats their rabbit treats because he has food allergies. So Boss here is very interested in these duck ones because he does like birds. He likes to follow birds, and I think it has a smell of familiarity for him.
Oh, very cool. Now, where can we get these?
These products will be available this fall, available nationwide in all your typical retail outlets, absolutely.
And if they don't have it, find a new store, right?
Please.
Okay.
Please.
Or ask them to get Zooks to stock
That's
Zooks.
a better
That's
option.
a better idea.
If you have trouble finding our products, you can always go to www.zooks.com. We have a store locator on there that will guide you to the nearest retail location. You can find our products.
And I have to point out, for people who may not be familiar with some of the sizing on the Zooks, these little small ones are great for training. When you are training, doing leash work, I use them a lot with my pets in my practice as well.
What are we giving away today?
We'll give away a pouch of, since we were talking about rabbit earlier, we'll give away a pouch of 1 pound rabbit Mini Naturals.
Gotta love it. Grant, thanks so much for joining us.
Thank you very much for having me.
Portions of today's show are a repeat from an earlier broadcast.
Vinny Penn coming at you again on Animal Radio with a party animal segment. I saw on the telephone pole at the end of my street the other day a missing pet flyer. We've discussed flyers here in the past. The catch with this one is they had drawn the picture of the cat missing. It was a pencil drawing. Now that one, you're not going to really be able to tell. I don't know. It didn't look any different than any other millions of cats you see out on the show. Well, you don't see as many these days as stray cats as you did when I was a kid back in the 70s and 80s. But they didn't really look any different. Two, it told me that you're drawing the picture of this cat, that you never took one of your cat. So how much could you have possibly loved it if you didn't have a picture to photocopy for the flyer? Now, that Smittens is missing. I'm not even going to get into the whole Smittens thing. But how much could you have loved Smittens? Maybe Smittens ran away, 1, because you never took a damn picture of him, and 2, because you named him Smittens. Vinny Penn, Party Animal, Animal Radio.
Fido Friendly Magazine presents the 17th annual Cross Country Pet Adoption Tour. Get your licks on Route 66. Along with media sponsor Animal Radio and companion sponsor Zymox, the tour travels down America's favorite highway from LA to Chicago, stopping at shelters along the way to support adoption events and to raise money for the shelters. With the help of cat food sponsor Cat It, community sponsor Tito's Vodka for Dog People, campground sponsor KOA, grooming sponsor Hands On Gloves, and car wrap sponsor Signs to You. Fido Friendly Magazine brings their giant spinning wheel where attendees can donate money to spin and win Fido fabulous prizes. All proceeds benefiting the shelter of the day. In the first 16 years, the tour has helped to place over 20,000 pets into new forever homes. Log on to FidoFriendly.com to see where the tour stops near you and come out for a safe, fun way to support your local shelter. And who knows, you might just find your new forever friend.
Hi, this is Jesse Tyler Ferguson from Modern Family. I'm on Animal Radio. Adopt a pet.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
I'm Stacey Cohen for Animal Radio. There's an animal trainer in Thailand who recently learned the hard way that even 8 years of experience doesn't make sticking your head in a crocodile's mouth completely safe. I would guess that it wouldn't be, no matter how long you've worked with them. According to the Bangkok Post, this guy went face-to-face with one of the reptiles earlier in this week during a show at the crocodile farm in Bangkok. Well, things took a turn for the worse. This guy's croc suddenly chomped down on his head. He was thrashed around for a couple seconds before the animal let go and then went back into the water. But other than injuries, believe it or not, he had injuries on his face and his neck. The trainer walked away relatively unscathed. Supposedly, this is the first time any incident like this has occurred at the farm. It was probably like in SeaWorld where that whale attacked the trainer and everybody thought it was, just part of the show. A Salt Lake City-based energy bar maker is turning to crickets as a source of nutrients. This seems to be the new thing. People are eating bugs left and right wherever you go, and it's not just when they're stuck on an island somewhere. According to CNN Money, the makers of Chapul bars, they use cricket flour to give their bars a boost of protein. Chapul's founder, Patrick Crowley, says the six-legged critters are a rich source of edible protein. It's more environmentally friendly than protein from livestock, and he assures potential consumers that Chapul bars, which come in 3 flavors, are pretty tasty. However, he does admit they have a psychological barrier of putting something derived from crickets in their mouth. Yeah, I might think twice about eating those too. God, I guess if you dip it in chocolate, it's probably good, Paleontologists from Mexico are working to unearth the world's largest intact dinosaur tail. The fossil is about 16 feet long. It's got a 50 connected vertebrae to it. It was found in northern Mexico. It was apparently buried for up to 72 million years. The fossil is believed to belong to a hadrosaur. That's a duck-billed dinosaur. And the exact species really hasn't been determined, but I guess it kind of looks like that tail. Okay, this is sex talk. It's talk between a zebra and a donkey, and they have produced a love child like no other. They've produced Ippo, the zonkey. It was born into the gap between two worlds. His dad is a zebra that was rescued from a failing zoo, and his mom is a female breed of endangered donkeys in Italy. Well, they were never supposed to get together. I guess a donkey jumped a fence. He's hard to keep down, and they got together and they had a love child. It's weird. The head of the donkey, the head looks like a donkey, and then the legs are a zebra, and it does make zebra sounds. Do you know what a zebra sounds like? It's like when a fire alarm goes off. It's that, ooh, ooh, ooh. Yeah, exactly. I'm Stacey Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
It is Animal Radio. We are celebrating our connection with your pets. This week, live from Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, where SuperZoo is the biggest industry trade show for the pet industry, which is now a $58 billion, with a B, $58 billion industry. There's over 980 booths here. All of them trying to pitch stuff to stores like Petco and PetSmart and your mom and pops. They want to give that shelf space. And not all of them are going to get it. But we're going to talk to a lot of them today, and we're going to get these new products that they have for you. We're going to give them to you before you can buy them in the store. Amazing. $58 billion. It is the second fastest growing sector, the pet industry. And I noticed that Joy's actually been going around. Actually, people have been coming up to Joy and asking them to talk to their animals. And some of them have been getting real emotional, Joy. I got to say that right now, huh?
It's true. I always tell people I should carry tissues with me.
Now, I notice your voice is a little scratchy today. I might assume that it's all the smoke that Las Vegas brings.
Yeah, I'm just kind of not used to being in a smoke environment, so my body decided it just isn't going to be happy about it.
With all this noise, this must be like driving you crazy, right?
Well, it took me a little while to get used to all the extra input, because it's all of a sudden like, instead of if you were in a room, maybe the size of a normal room with people talking, and then all of a sudden you went into like a football stadium with all those people talking, because I can hear
everybody.
I hear everything like that. I hear all those thoughts and everything, and it's like, oh my gosh, my head's going to explode.
At times I wish I had the skills that you have, but at this particular time, I'm glad that I could only hear the voices in my head.
I hear those voices, Hal. You've got a whole lot of them in there. I like that a lot.
I sure do, especially lately. Let's go to Randy. Hey, Randy. Oh, I got to hit this button here. I'm sorry, I'm not. Hey, Randy, how are you doing?
Good, you?
Oh, splendid. Just fabulous. Where are you calling from today?
I'm in Beaver Dam, Wisconsin, northeast of Madison.
Oh, I hear it's nice and chilly for the...
It was 52 degrees when I woke up this morning. I had to close my windows.
Gosh.
Isn't that crazy?
It is. It really is.
Well, let me tell you that it's almost 117 degrees here. So...
you can have that.
Yeah. I understand you want to talk to Joy Turner. Is that correct?
Yeah. I have a 2.5-year-old teddy bear named Gus, and she drives with me in the truck all the time, and sometimes I wonder if she's happy being in the truck all the time, and my wife just passed away at the beginning of the month, so I don't really have any other choice with her right now, so.
Oh. Hey, buddy,
I'm
we're
really
sorry
to hear
about that.
about your wife.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And so tell me, Gus is a dog, a cat?
It's a dog, 2.5-year-old. She's a Bichon Poodle Shih Tzu mix.
Okay, the first thing she wants me to tell you is she's really sorry. She's grieving as much as you are about your wife.
Yep.
And the other thing is, she says, don't take her the way she's behaving as being not happy being with you, because right now there's no place on earth she would rather be.
Okay.
Wherever you go is where she wants to be.
Mm-hmm.
But she kind of likes also the opportunity to be able to grieve with you.
Right.
So, it's kind of like the two of you just need to hang out and be wherever you are. She needs to be with you, because that's what she wants to do at this point.
All right. We do that all the time, so I guess we'll just keep on going on.
Absolutely. She, by the way, is very delighted that you would take her with you.
Yeah. She likes to
keep your head up, buddy.
And she does think you are like the best dad in the whole world.
All right. Thanks a lot, you guys. Have a good day.
Welcome.
We are coming to you live from SuperZoo in Las Vegas, and we're standing inside an Airstream trailer that's been retrofitted for Kurgo. Nice job. I love it. Gordy Spader joined us.
Oh, thank you very much.
We've been talking on the air about pet safety in regards to pet restraint systems. A lot of you traveling this year, taking your pets out this summer. I've heard some negative things about restraint systems. We had a guest on a couple of weeks ago who talked about the significant failure rate of some of these restraint systems. Now, I've known Kurgo for a while, and in fact, we have several of the restraint systems, booster seats also, that we use for Ladybug, the studio stud dog. What do you guys got going on? And tell us what you think about the whole pet safety issue that's been going on recently.
Yeah, so we've been very involved in this from the beginning. In fact, we've kind of moved this whole industry forward in terms of doing how we do the testing. And you can see on our website that there are harnesses that we have there that have been tested up to 35 miles an hour. Now, the Center for Pet Safety has been doing some testing also, and we've been a part of those tests. And the next round of the results of those are due to come out in October. So those will show a lot of manufacturers, us and other manufacturers have been working very hard on continuing to improve the doing crash tests and how the harness reacts in the test. So we've had to create crash test dogs. Those didn't exist. We created them from scratch.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, and I can tell you some of the examples as we did it along the way. And you can see these things on our website, and on YouTube you can see some of the videos.
What is that website?
So Kurgo.com, Kurgo.com. and there are some links on there of place. It's showing the crash tests that we've done at test facilities as well as some that we've done in our own testing facility. But the overall picture here is that there's no requirements or no specifications.
There's no baseline for
no.
Okay.
So we've had to create this from scratch. So you can say, there were some results that things didn't pass someone's requirements, but we are trying to decide what those requirements should be. So we're working with the Center for Pet Safety and SuperZoo, which has helped to sponsor these new studies, to say, well, what should these specifications be? And let's push them. Let's make it safer for everyone to travel together. And that's our goal, is to get people and their dogs out traveling together as safely as possible.
What do you have new this year?
So we continue to push forward on the safety side and offering these crash-tested harnesses. Our enhanced strength TrueFit harness with the nesting buckles are really the safest and really easiest to use harnesses out there. Mm-hmm. And so we have those, and we have always have always been part of the line, but we're adding to how strong they are as we continue to learn more about how these should perform. And then more on the seat protection side, which is also really important. A lot of people, say, "Oh, my dad threw down a blanket to keep the dog, this back seat clean, and that's what I'm going to do." But we all know that's a pain in the neck, and the blanket gets pushed around, and it's just not a good experience. So we've come out with a lot of different designs and style for the back of your seat, for the hammocks and the seat covers and the booster seat, which are some of our most popular items. And we have a new one that's kind of based on the puffy jackets that people have had. Those are coming out in September that are great for fall and for winter. That's called our Loft line. And then we have our muted floral line, which is a much more decorative take on what you can have in the backseat of your car.
Check out the website, Kurgo.com, Kurgo.com. You're traveling with your pet this summer? Make sure you check it out and make sure you have them properly restrained. They're safe as everybody else in the car. We'll head back to the phones next, right after this.
Hello, this is Dr. Paul on Animal Radio. Take care of the pets and make sure that in these hot days that they get in lots of water, and don't tie them outside in the sun, because then they get a heat stroke.
You hear that? That's the sound of uncertainty lurking under your hood. You know the feeling. I know I do. That sudden sinking sensation when you see a check engine light or your car unexpectedly breaks down and you're faced with sky-high repair bills. It's time to shield against unexpected repairs with CarShield. CarShield is America's most trusted auto protection company and has an A rating with the Better Business Bureau. Don't let the fear of a breakdown keep you up at night. Trust the Shield, CarShield, and say goodbye to terrifying repair bills and hello to peace of mind. Your plan also comes with 24/7 roadside assistance, courtesy towing, rental car options, and so much more. Don't wait till it's too late. Call CarShield now before a breakdown. Protect your wallet. Protect your car with CarShield. Get our best protection ever. Call now. You'll thank me later. 800-987-0618. 800-987-0618. That's 800-987-0618.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
We're coming to you live from SuperZoo in Las Vegas. It's the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. And the new pet product special. We do it yearly here on Animal Radio. We're giving you things, good stuff for your pets before they're out in the stores. And in fact, all of these booths here, over 980 of them, up from 500 last year, competing for shelf space in your local store. And we'll tell you what that's all about. Now, most of this is super secret stuff. In fact, they say what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. We're telling you right now. We had to go through all kinds of rigmarole to get accredited to go see these things.
Oh, yeah, they screened us.
They screened us all. They did background checks. I know Alan almost didn't get his background check cleared to go check out.
No, because I get too excited. I mean, there's so many cool things here that I've never seen, and I want one, and I can't have one. And and I tried to bribe people, and I've strong-armed people. I've used muscle, and nothing works. These people are tough.
And Judy's been asked to take her camera off her phone and take it out of the area because they don't want taking pictures of some of this proprietary stuff. So we're going to blab the word, and we're going to give you the stuff here today on Animal Radio. And if we get in trouble, well, we'll take the blame. And we're also toughing out over 100-degree weather for this here. It's actually air conditioned in here, but you walk outside, we're all schwitzing like nobody's business. It actually, I walked out just a few minutes ago. That's where everyone goes to smoke from the convention center. It's actually smoky outside. It's really,
and I have to say, Boss he is turned off of the doggy potty area because of the smoke and all the butts laying around. It really disgusted him.
I noticed that he's getting along with Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, much better than he did last year.
Let's say that Ladybug is getting along with him better. She just doesn't really love him, and she's tolerating much better this time because he's kind of like a backyard dog. He's pretty every man's dog, and she's a little more.
She only
wants to say prissy.
Yeah. Go ahead. You could say it. We know.
We know she is.
She only went after him like twice so far, and that's a new record for her.
Yeah, she's guarding the booth. She won't let anybody into the booth here, and we keep
Human
telling her,
or dog.
we're trying to be friendly here. But let's go to Danny. You want to go to Danny? Let's go to Danny. Hey, Danny, how are you doing?
Hi, this is Danny from Orlando, Florida. Hey, got a question on a 10-year-old Shih Tzu I have.
Okay.
We took her for the first time to the groomer yesterday, and after she got home, she was, like, licking her parts and constantly, like, in pain. All night she spent crying and crying and crying.
Now, did you say 10 years old, and this is the first time she's been groomed?
Yeah, so usually my wife does it at home.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, how in the heck does that
happen? Usually my wife does it, but this time, for some reason or another, we decided to take her to the groomer to do a better job.
Okay. All right.
But
gotcha.
The dog's been in pain for the last 24 hours. I could tell that it's red around her areas. I went to PetSmart and got, I guess, some ointment for burns. But is it something that's normal? Should I take her to the vet?
Well, it kind of depends. And presuming that you've got some clipper irritation there, which is not uncommon, there are pets that certainly have very sensitive skin and are more prone to that. Or for pets that have a really close clipping, say if you've got matted areas or you're going for that close summer cut, you might be more prone to getting clipper irritation, especially in some of the delicate areas like, the genital areas, the armpits. Those can be really sensitive when they get the clippers that just kind of rub up against the area. So if it's a mild abrasion, so if the area is just red and kind of what I would equate, so no worse than like a skin knee, then I'll often use like a topical over-the-counter steroid cream, just kind of like a cortisone type thing for people. But it becomes a challenge because a lot of dogs become so obsessed, they're so itchy, scratchy that they can make these type of areas much worse very quickly. So it is important that we either find some way to relieve their discomfort, or at least if it's a localized area, we can put like a Elizabethan collar on, a cone on, to keep them away from that, because repeated licking at those areas will definitely set in bigger problems. So it's hard to say without seeing your baby, but a topical cortisone cream might be a realistic thing. Sometimes I'll even use an oatmeal shampoo as just kind of a soothing thing that you can try at home. But if she seems like she's really that uncomfortable, it might be worthwhile to get her over to the vet just to see if they need to give her some pain medicine or get her on an antibiotic sometimes.
What do you think about that groomer there, Doc? Do you think that perhaps they shouldn't go back to that groomer? I mean, does it sound like that's a groomer problem?
Not necessarily, because it can really depend on what the goals were with the grooming, and that's why I say if a pet is matted and they are kind of have no choice but to do a close clip, it's a function of the matting or what the desired clip is. So for me, if I have a dog that this happens to, I like to have a heart-to-heart with the folks and say, maybe you don't really want to keep him that short. We'll go with a longer clip or ask the groomer to use a longer blade next time. And then if it's something like the pet is really matted, then it's just a matter of staying up with those grooming frequencies. But there are some dogs that just they could have a lot of sensitivity. And if you think about it, especially for ladies, if you're shaving those delicate parts, when that hair grows in, it naturally itches. So if you got a little close clipping, for a dog, it's easy to understand how they can be irritated and develop redness. So I don't often blame the groomer. I've only run into some truly bad groomers just infrequently. So.
Okay, so I guess I'll try the collar and some cream, see if it gets better, because she has been licking a lot. So I think the collar might be a necessity.
Yeah, and definitely it is individualized. So if it's like a single area, I'll often treat very conservatively. But if it sounds like what you're describing, it's kind of all over, she might be a bit overwhelmed with, the areas. So I'd encourage you to have her looked at.
Sounds good. I appreciate your help.
Hey, no problem.
Okay.
Let us know how that turns out, okay?
Thank you very much, guys. Have a great afternoon.
Danny calling from Orlando this afternoon. Appreciate it, where it's probably much cooler than it is here in Las Vegas. Joy, what is Ladybug, the studio stunt dog? Is she overwhelmed by all of this?
She's loving the attention. As a matter of fact, that's part of the reason she's after Boss, because she thinks some people think he's cuter.
Oh, it's a little jealousy thing, huh?
Do you have an old car sitting around your house? Maybe you're even paying insurance on it. Well, if you don't need that car anymore, donate it, running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. They will even come and pick it up for free and give you a receipt for a tax donation. Breast cancer screening could save the life of someone you love. And right now, they need your help. They want to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And that's what your old car helps to pay for. So get your phone out and call right now to donate your car to the United Breast Cancer Foundation. Remember, they will come pick it up for free and give you a tax donation receipt. Call right now.
800-793-4880. 800-793-4880. 800-793-4880. That's 800-793-4880.
Celebrating the connection with our pets. This is Animal Radio, featuring your dream team. Veterinarian Dr. Debbie White, dog trainer Alan Cable, groomer Joey Villani, communicator Joy Turner, and here are your hosts, Al Abrams and Judy Francis.
And we are coming to you live this week from the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It is SuperZoo, the largest trade industry show for pet products, the new pet products that you'll see in your stores next year. And at the end of this year, we'll be featuring and giving you today. Plus, we still have the Dream Team answering your questions, like Dr. Debbie. She's answering your vet medical questions. No human questions. She's been having a lot of people coming up to her at SuperZoo, lifting their shirt saying,
look at this.
Yeah,
Can you tell me?
Should I go to a doctor for that? Dog trainer Alan Cable's here, of course, to answer your most vexing dog issue questions. Dog father Joey Villani, our groomer extraordinaire, and animal communicator Joy Turner. What's going on, Stacy?
Coming up, I'm going to tell you about a tryst between a zebra and a donkey, and they have produced a love child like no other. Yes, donkey sex talk coming up on Animal Radio News.
It's donkey sex on Animal
Radio. You got to
Radio.
go there, don't you?
She's a little tinged.
A little?
Can someone look up tinged, please?
This SuperZoo thing is amazing. I wish people could see the colored dogs. You know, the crazy people who come and they got this big grooming thing going on, and they make the dogs all these vibrant colors, and the owners are dressed in the same colors, and they just walk around together all colorful like rainbows together. It's pretty weird.
I was going to take Ladybug over there and have him paint her red.
Yeah.
With her, so she have her black spots, so she would look like a true ladybug. I'm going to do that next year. I'm going to walk her around. She's going to be red and black.
Why not do it this year?
I'll be back. I'm going to go take Ladybug and get her painted red.
I'm so confused, though.
I am too.
Like when you go down the aisle and you see all the different detergents. Here, there must be a trillion chew toys. So, how do you know? I mean, how do you even pick one out? If they give you the opportunity, how would you know what to pick?
Because you take your dog and you
test. I don't have my dog here.
You can borrow Ladybug and walk around, and she'll tell you. She'll stop at the booths that have the good treats. She'll pass up the bad treats, and the good toys she'll stop. The other toys she'll pass them by.
Can I tell the listeners what we just saw happen with the dog that just ran down the aisle?
Oh, you're gonna do that.
There's a lot of treats here. There's a lot of treats. Dogs are getting a lot of treats. There's a lot of food. I gotta say, there's got to be 50 or 60.
Oh, at least.
Different brands of food here. And they're all giving out samples of their food, so Ladybug's trying them all. So far, she's doing very well. But we just saw, what was that, a golden retriever? What was that? A lab?
No, that was a black lab, Hal. I know it came by in a blur, but it was a black lab.
The owner rushing the black lab out to the...
trying to get out the exit.
Because apparently the black lab not reacting well to some of the treats, leaving a trail of diarrhea all down the aisles here.
Down the... every 2 to 3 feet, it dropped some as it ran.
And Judy's been nice enough to direct traffic, keep people from stepping in all of that.
Well, it's right in front of our booth. I'm looking out at all this poop going, oh, my God.
We got to get it cleaned up. Okay. Hey, Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for taking my call.
Where are you calling from today?
I'm calling from Los Angeles. You guys are having way too much fun out there.
Yeah, we are. Except it is over 100 degrees, almost 115 right now is what I'm looking at. So,
wow.
So what do you got going on? I understand you want to talk to Dr. Debbie.
Yeah, I had a quick question. I was listening to your program being broadcast early this morning in Los Angeles, and there was a lady that spoke about a German Shepherd and how he was distempered in his rear hind legs, and he had some spinal condition. I also, too, own a German Shepherd. He's a vibrant fella. He's 3 years old. His name is King. And I know that in the future, I'm going to have to anticipate the German Shepherd experiencing some problems with his hind legs because they're known for having problems with their hind legs. And so my question is knowing that that's going to come in the future, is there some form of insurance that you can purchase for your dog for medical situations? Because having to take them to the vet gets very expensive, and just to have to outright pay that kind of cash is very expensive. And I want to give the best care to my animal that I can.
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. And you know what? It's great that you're thinking ahead because, a lot of people don't anticipate those big bills when they come up. And, there's a lot of great advances we have in veterinary medicine, but they come at a cost. And, a lot of these things can be price prohibitive if you're not ready for them. So with any breed of dog, my recommendation is I do recommend pet insurance, and I prefer to get a dog or cat into that when they're young. Preferably as a puppy or kitten, because number one, your rates are going to be the lowest then, and also you haven't set any kind of patterns of pre-existing conditions, because once your dog has a problem with allergies or ear infections, that's already documented in the medical record, and those may not be covered if you sign up for insurance later. So the best advice is get into insurance early. And then your question about some of these big problems in shepherds like hip dysplasia, you have to be cautious, because if you are hoping to have that kind of insurance help you for a specific condition, you really need to check the pet insurance carefully. There are different exclusions for both hereditary conditions and pre-existing conditions. So if, for example, you were to tell me you went to the vet down the street and they told you your dog has hip dysplasia right now, and then you try to get an insurance policy after the fact, it's very possible that a company might not cover it at all.
Wow.
Some conditions, if they're treatable, they will, even if it's pre-existing and it's been noted before, they may cover it. But it depends on the company. It depends on the condition. So it's something I'd have a hard time telling you blanket which one to go with. But the other thing to keep in mind with some of these different purebred diseases, and hip dysplasia is very common in German Shepherds, is that has a hereditary base. So it is passed on from generation to generation. So they may have an exclusion based on that as well. So what I recommend, you can do this stuff online. It's very easy. You go to the different insurance, pet insurance websites, and you can go through and ask for a free quote. And it's very easy. You get a little annoying email after the fact, but you can always unsubscribe if you don't want that. But it's a really good way to kind of price compare. And then once something is looking like it's in your budget, I do suggest to get someone on the horn and add those specific questions.
Let me tell you what we've done here personally. This is me. I'm not talking for Animal Radio, but I priced the insurance, and then I decided to take a certain portion out of my paycheck every month. Instead of paying the insurance company, I put it into an interest-bearing savings account. This is a savings account specifically for medical emergencies for my animals, and I'll let that grow, and I'll collect interest on that. Then I don't have to really worry about any kind of pre-existing conditions. I don't have to worry about...
That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Well, you know what, Hal, that'll only get you so far. So let's say I have a perfect example. I have a client who had a Labrador puppy that needed a intestinal surgery because he ate something.
Yeah.
So we had that surgery done, and then she got some insurance. She let it lapse, and wouldn't you believe it or not, he needed another procedure, another emergency surgery just less than 6 months later. So if you're counting on savings, it can really get wiped out quickly by multiple events. And something like, say, a hip surgery. You know, you're looking for a large breed dog, minimum $2,500 for some hip procedures. Wow. Some will be upwards. You know, a hip replacement can be a heck of a lot more than that. So, you know what, you can gamble that way, but I advise caution, because, you know, you're limited with what you can select down the road. And that's where people need to ask questions, find out what it covers and what it doesn't. And that's really, I hate for people to buy insurance and just do it blindly. You need to know what you're getting.
Gosh, it's just so amazing how much pets cost now. I mean, in the old days, you went to the vet, it was $10, $15, and now it's just so much money.
Well, listen, I certainly thank you for your advice. I think I'm going to try both situations. I'm going to start saving a little bit, and then I'm going to also look at those quotes, too. You guys are doing an excellent job. Thank you very much.
Hey, Dr. Debbie, do you have like a barter system? Like, let's say I wanted to bring my pet to you, but I was penniless. Could I barter with you maybe? Maybe trade work for work, do some plumbing for you, or maybe I could do my Thunder Down Over dance for you or something?
No, definitely not that. I would tell you, definitely not. But you know what? Then how do I pay my employees in chickens? And do I pay them in produce?
Wouldn't that be a great world? That would be such a great world if people did that.
There's some places they are.
We're back on the floor at Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It is SuperZoo and our new pet product special. We're over at the Merrick booth. I'm visiting with Pete and Betsy. Hey, Pete, how you doing?
Yeah, I'm great.
Hello. It's great to be here.
Well, I've always loved Merrick, so tell me, what do you have new?
Well, we're really excited to debut at this show Perfect Bistro. What better place than SuperZoo to talk about a new line of cat food? We have 21 new offerings in the Perfect Bistro line. It's a high-protein cat food that we think the cats will lick their whiskers for.
Well, I love the name already.
We have a whole menu, and think of a bistro yourself. We know our pets want what we want, and so we provide delicious, tasty, and textured food for cats. We know cats can be somewhat finicky, and so that's why variety is really the name of the game when it comes to helping our feline friends. And so we've offered 3 different textures over the 21 menu items, whether they be shredded, whether they be pate, or whether they be sliced. Those are 3 textures that we found that a lot of cats enjoy.
You know what? I don't know that there's anybody else in the business that is concerned about texture as much as you are.
I think it's about taste and texture, and I think pet parents have told us that they know that texture matters, but also what matters is a high-protein, nutritious food. And we've got some different issues that we help them manage too, whether it be weight management, fur ball. Fiber helps with those hair balls, and that's what really pet parents have told us. And so we've designed a food in Perfect Bistro that helps meet their needs.
The best thing about the new pet product special, of course, is the giveaways. And Pete, what are we going to give away?
Well, we've got 2 things for you. For our dog friends, we have Grammy's Pot Pie. So a case of Grammy's Pot Pie, none other than Merrick's Grammy's Pot Pie to start their day with.
And I got to say, Ladybug, the studio stunt dog, is enjoying some of that right now.
Okay. And then for our feline friends, we have Perfect Bistro. And so we'd love to give a bag of our dry food as well as a case of cans to meet their variety and their taste and texture needs.
Sounds good.
Portions of today's show are a repeat from an earlier broadcast.
Dogs or cats, horse or emu, animals are people too.
John Elder from England was heartbroken when his prized termite-sniffing beagle was stolen. Someone stole Joni by breaking a small air vent and dragging her through, leaving some skin and fur. Elder talked to local media, and news of the lost termite dog reached neighboring towns. A motorist found Joni walking dazed and confused in the middle of the highway. She originally thought that Joni had been hit by a car because she was missing so much skin and hair. Her daughter read about the missing dog, and soon Elder and his missing hound were reunited. Joni's abductor hasn't been found, but I'd look for somebody who used to have termites. I'm Britt Savage for Animal Radio.
Animals are people too. Animal Radio.
I never really understood the value of having a good credit score until I started to make a few purchases recently. Then it hit me like a ton of bricks. Because my credit score was in the 600s. I was borderline getting denied on my new apartment. And guess what? My new car payment is about 30% more. Having bad credit can even affect your credit card rates. Having a good credit score is important to your financial future, and you can save a lot of money. Call the Credit Pros right now. In a free phone call, we can tell you exactly how to improve your credit score. Plus, learn about our 60-day satisfaction guarantee. If you're not happy after 60 days, we'll give you 2 months free. Make this free call right now for a free consultation and free credit review. 800-292-6156. 800-292-6156. 800-292-6156. That's 800-292-6156.
This is
Animal Radio, baby.
We wish you were all here with us, but it is over 100 degrees. See, I can't even talk. It's affecting me. The thermometer in my car said 117 degrees out there.
Oh.
So we're taking it. We're toughing it. We're taking the hit for you over here at Animal Radio as we broadcast live from Las Vegas and the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. We're not only answering your questions as we usually do, but we're giving you a look at the new pet products that are coming out for this fall. A new $58 billion industry expected to be in the 60s. And, well, you know, things have changed. The dog used to be in the backyard in the doghouse. Now they're inside sleeping in the bed with us, and we're treating them like family. We're buying them clothes. That's why there are so many booths here, so many people trying to pitch products that will be in the stores. And to be completely honest with you, 980 booths, all with different products. They're all competing for shelf space in your local Petco or your PetSmart or your local mom and pop store. Not all of them are going to make it. Some of the ideas I think are genius. Some of the ideas I think they're a little, just between you and me, kind of stupid. But we're going to weed them out for you. We're going to give you some of these items.
Can I just say, I'm glad you brought up being completely honest. I'm glad you said that. Because, I don't know when it was, you were talking about Joy and the loss of her vocal power and that she was, she was having trouble talking. And you said it was because of all the smoke here in Vegas. Why? Why can't you just tell everyone that Dr. Debbie took the ladies to the Thunder Down Under show with the guy dancers and Joy lost her mind totally? Why can't you say that?
Yeah, the ladies went to the Thunder Down Under, which is a great thing. I unfortunately got into some bad fish or something, and I have Thunder Down Under also. But it's a different kind of Thunder Down Under.
Yeah. Well, you know, Alan, what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas. That's why we can't talk about it.
Except on Animal Radio. We're just blabbing our little mouths off. Yeah, that is true. Joy went out and she was screaming at the guys and she's lost her voice. She can speak. Let's hear it. Give the audience a little sample of your voice there, Joy.
Okay, so, guys, I thought this was going to be just between the,
ladies.
The 8 of us or whatever it is here.
It's always the quiet ones. Hey, Dave, how you doing?
Hey, good.
So what's going on with your animal?
I got a yellow lab. She's 7 years old, having problems with fleas.
Oh, boy.
I mean, some severe problems. We bombed the house. I have 2 chihuahuas, and I have 3 outside cats. The cats are outside. They never come inside. I seem to clear the problem up on the chihuahuas, but the lab, it's awful. I mean, she got patches ripped out of her fur.
Okay. Now, tell me.
I had tried the Frontline, the Advantage. I tried dipping her. I tried all kinds of sprays. I tried diatomaceous earth.
Okay. When we have resistant infections or really overwhelming flea populations, we need to kind of back up and look at what fleas are all about. And they're not just what you see crawling on your dog or your cat. That's the very smallest proportion of that life cycle. And the biggest problem I see that folks do is we focus on what we see to evaluate how well we're doing our job at controlling fleas. And the flea life cycle, they only spend about 5% of their time as adults on the animal. So the rest of their life cycle, they are living off the pet and in the environment. So if we're only using products that are going to kill those 5% on the animal, we're not doing a very good job because those other ones are going to have time to develop. So that's really important when you look at what products you're using and also frequency, because the flea life cycle, it can take about approximately 3 weeks from them to go from an immature egg going up until an adult. So that cycle keeps going and going and going. And actually some eggs can wait almost a year to develop into adults. So we have to be consistent and continue our flea efforts. In some parts of the country, this is year round. The thing I would ask you to look at is some of the different products that you're using. You mentioned something like Frontline, which is, it's a fine product, but I would want to make sure if you're using that product that you're using one called Frontline Plus. There are different types of sterilizers in a lot of these products, and that is in the Frontline Plus, but not in the plain Frontline. Just as there's some others, like say in Advantix versus Advantix 1 versus Advantix 2. So the higher generation, as I call it, products actually have these sterilizers. So those what that does is they're going to try to help you with those other forms that haven't yet developed into the adult flea. The other thing is that I want to make sure that we're incorporating other ways to help kill off these fleas. And The other problem that I see that folks do is they try to tackle this on their own. So it's kind of like trying to treat a kid with asthma without ever going to the doctor to get the proper medication. So I would encourage you to work with your veterinarian. And a lot of times I'll actually advocate using an oral product that will help to kill off the adults quicker than sometimes these other topicals can. And if, like your Labrador, you're describing a dog that sounds like she very well could have flea allergy dermatitis, which is more than just a normal flea infestation. Some pets can have an exorbitant response to the saliva from the flea bite, and they can have one bite that sets them off for days, weeks, and they're just really furiously itchy from that. So for those pets, it's imperative that we do a good quick kill, and a lot of these oral forms that you get from your vet, that will help to kill those adults quickly. And then a lot of those pets I'll also have to resort to steroids to really help comfort that itch so they don't tear themselves apart.
Is there anything, because, like with ants, they tell you to put a barrier around your house, and they have some organic stuff that I use to keep the ants out. Is there anything that he can put outside of his house on his property that would kill the fleas before they could even get on the dog?
I have a 5-inch round of diatomaceous earth right around the base of my house.
Yeah, and that's, on theory that works great, but the problem is we have dogs that venture in and out the house. So you can treat a barrier, but as long as your dog is going outside, that barrier is broken. I'd rather folks not focus on trying to set up a perimeter, because you're not going to be able to do that. Fleas have an amazing capability of not only transporting on pets, but jumping.
She doesn't go outside very much.
Doesn't matter. It does not matter. Fleas, they're very opportunistic. I hate to say it, but I think there's a lot of opportunities that you do have in kind of addressing some of these products, the frequency, and then really, like I said, I would pick up the phone and chat with your local veterinarian and see what else we need to do, especially for your Labrador, to get her some good comfort from that itching.
Thanks for calling the Veteran Car Donation Program. How can I help you?
Can you come and pick up my car and give me that tax deduction I've heard all about?
Sure. We can pick it up in about 2 business days or less.
Call right now and donate your car to help our veterans. Call 800-927-9819. 800-927-9819. 800-927-9819. Call right now. 800-927-9819.
This is an Animal Radio News Update.
I'm Stacey Cohen for Animal Radio. A British woman, okay, just pay attention. It's a British woman. It's not an English American woman. A British woman has been saddled with a fine after bringing her horse into a McDonald's restaurant. See, I know what you're thinking. Stacey, was this you? No. I haven't gone anywhere outside of the country. According to BBC News, Greater Manchester police say the woman initially tried to ride the animal through the drive-thru, but she was turned away. So she decided, you know what? You're not going to let me go through the drive-thru, then I'm going to come in. She brought the horse inside the fast food restaurant where it promptly did its business on the floor. A McDonald's spokeswoman said the sight and smell of the incident caused obvious distress to her customers trying to enjoy the meals. And she added that the health and safety of their customers is a priority, which is why they refuse to serve people on horseback and any other customer that's not in a car at the drive-thru. Cincinnati zoo officials are hoping to save a critically endangered species. Zookeepers are going to try to mate a female Sumatran rhino with her younger brother in an urgent maneuver to reverse the species' decline. Are you allowed to do that? Isn't that incest? There are believed to be just 100 Sumatran rhinos in the wilds of Southeast Asia because of habitat lost and poachers. The Cincinnati Zoo has successfully bred 3 rhinos, including the pair they're currently trying to mate. Something doesn't seem right about that. A Spokane, Washington man is claiming his encounter with a spider caused him to crash his pickup into a semi-truck. You know what? Any woman can relate to this. I guess a guy can, too. Levi Van Dyke told Spokane's KHQ-TV that he freaked out when he caught sight of the spider crawling up the back of his leg as he drove. Well, he began swatting at this creature, causing him to collide with the back of a semi. While the crash caused serious damage to his truck, he came away from the wreck with only a scratch on his head and his shoulder. He chalked up his good fortune to a higher power, saying he had some angels watching over him. Meantime, the driver of the semi was unharmed. I would be screaming my head off. Bugs and I don't go well together. Okay, this was kind of cute. Motorists were heading through the Griffith Park area of L.A., and they had to slow down while they were driving on the 5 freeway for a nature break. The CHP said traffic came to a halt on the southbound 5 right near Fletcher Drive, so this mama duck and her ducklings could cross the lanes of the freeway. I can't believe they were able to even get the police up there fast enough. The birds were apparently on their way to the nearby L.A. River, and duck crossings in the past have caused several freeway accidents, not to mention plenty of traffic jams. I'm Stacey Cohen. Get more animal breaking news at animalradio.com.
This has been an Animal Radio News Update. Get more at animalradio.com.
We are coming to you live from Las Vegas, Nevada, where it is over 100 degrees. We're at the Mandalay Bay Convention Center, where it is air-conditioned, and they probably have one heck of an air conditioning bill, I'll tell you that right now. They are cooling over 980 booths containing items from food to toys to treats, all the good things for your pets that are coming out this fall and into next year, and we're giving these things away to you before you can get them in the stores. And we'll ask you to call in just a couple of minutes at 1-866-405-8405 to pick up on those items. Now, just because we're out of the studio doesn't mean we're not answering your calls. We certainly are at 1-866-405-8405, a very similar number to the number I just gave you 30 seconds ago. They're the same numbers to pick up on these items and to ask questions of Dr. Debbie, dog trainer Alan Cable, dog father Joey Villani, and animal communicator Joy Turner. We go to Cindy. Hey, Cindy, how you doing?
Just fine, sir. How are you?
Please don't call me sir. That's my dad. You just call me Hal number 1, and we do have to specify Hal number 1. Where are you calling from today, Cindy?
From Greenwood, Arkansas.
What's it look like out the window? Set the scene, if you will.
Oh, we're cut the humidity with a knife, and sunny and muggy, and we're having a good week, though. It's staying in the low 90s. Started getting the low 90s.
That's good.
I'll take the 117 dry heat anytime.
Oh, you will? You like the 117 over
better than the humidity.
I don't know. I think I'd rather be next to Cindy right now, enjoying a margarita.
I grew up in California, and when you wanted weather, you drove to it.
Yeah.
Exactly. You drove to Big Bear. Grew up in Whittier.
The earthquake probably scared you out, didn't it?
No, I'm scared to death of tornadoes. I'll take an earthquake any day.
Exactly.
She likes humidity.
The scariest thing there is.
Humidity and tornadoes is what she is.
Yeah.
I like you. You're my kind of gal. You a married woman?
Yes, I am. It'll be 40 years next year.
Holy moly! You don't even sound 40 years old. Would you get married when you were 3?
18.
I have the good doctor here. She's the only one that's not sweating because she lives here in Las Vegas. What can we help you with?
Well, I have almost a 10-month-old Shih Tzu, and
wonderful.
I lost the Opsa before and another Shih Tzu, and we never had a problem with them. But this little one eats her poop, and it
it disgusts you, doesn't it?
Yes, I look at that face, and I'm thinking, you used to be so cute, but now you do the poopy eating thing. Oh.
Yes. Well, now, I gotta say, the first thing we have to do is just look at that cute face and not take it personal. This is a normal doggy behavior. As disgusting as we find it, it is just sometimes a gleeful pastime for some dogs. So recognize that dogs, it's kind of what mama dog does when she has babies. She licks their behind to clean and ingest their waste. So it's very natural. It sounds gross, but when I say it that way, it sounds so pleasant, doesn't it?
Yeah, it really does.
So that's the first thing, is we got to get past the emotions and the drama, because when you catch your baby doing it, you definitely don't want to make a big to-do about it. You don't want to yell, scream, try to remove it from her mouth, because that makes it worse. So you actually, I like to do a couple things. One is, if you catch her in the act, I go for distraction. You know, finding a squeaky toy or something really good that you can go running in the other direction, and just really finding something more fun than her picking up that poop.
Yeah.
And then you really, really have to be vigilant. And this means not allowing her to go out to the potty area without supervision. You need to be able to supervise, make sure she does her business, you give her that praise, and she leaves the area. And then combine that with picking up her waste on a timely fashion. So really every day, several times throughout the day. I just prefer to have it picked up and put in a little receptacle right away.
Yeah, we police the yard, you know, and she has a doggy door, so that's part of our problem.
Exactly, yeah, because the doggy door is a very convenient thing, but it's not our friend when it comes to a dog that has some problem outside misbehaving. So that's you're probably going to have to take that doggy door away, take control of her entry and exits. There's other things you can do. There's all sorts of things you can bait and treat her stool with, but you know what? It goes down to just really training.
On dog food, people tell me if I'll feed them the raw. My groomers, they've handled 3 of my dogs for 30 years, and they say that if you feed them the raw, that their body uses all of the nutrients in that food, so it comes out almost useless.
Well,
they say it'll be a little white pile, and that's it.
Yeah, and that would be if we're assuming that we have some kind of deficiency and she was ingesting the stool for that reason. But the honest truth is that most cases, especially in puppies, it's a fun habit. They enjoy doing it, and it becomes more fun if we chase them around and yell at them.
Well, sure it does. They're like, watch, let's make a run. Look at the neighbors laughing when the mom's out there running around with her glass water or fish net trying to get up the poo, and she's running every which way.
You pick up poo with fishnets on? You're my kind of woman.
No, I was kind of using the butterfly net type thing, driving you crazy, and they come to get you with the butterfly net.
Well, you know what? That is a good question, because a lot of people think that, by altering the diet, that we're going to, or giving them some kind of supplement, we're going to stop this. So I don't think you're feeding a bad diet. I don't think that's probably the reason. I think she's just having a lot of fun.
When you catch her doing it, do you make a big whoop-de-doo about it? Like get all excited? And
Well, now that we've gone through this, she had a sister that's gone now, but they investigated each other's poop is when I first started realizing that, I think they're eating their own poop. So that started with that. And then she started doing it on her pee-pee pads after she'd go to the bathroom there. We'd catch her doing it and grab it up and put it in the trash can and all that to keep her from, even thinking about it. But now that she roams outside quite a bit, she, has a lot of opportunity. And
can I just make a little observation for you? Remember this. Your dog has nothing but time on his hands, and your dog studies you 90% of the time, just watches how you react to different things. And once a dog figures out how to get attention from a human, then the dog will do those behaviors over and over. So if you're making a big deal out of her eating her poop and you're totally focused on her poop and when she poops, she's already figured that out. So she is going to use that to get attention from you. And so one way to change that is to give her attention in other areas. Give her a lot of exercise. Spend time with her, at least a half hour a day, stimulating her brain. And, because a lot of times dogs eat poop because they're bored, too. But once they figure out that you're going to react to it, they're going to keep doing it, just like Dr. Debbie said.
All right. We're just going to have to turn off the reaction button and get her attention away from it. And then while she's not even looking, have my husband get rid of the poop, and she won't see me doing it, and maybe we can fool her. Although she's sitting in here listening now, and she knows the whole spiel.
Yep, she might be hearing this. She probably does she know what we're talking about?
Well, I should say, unfortunately, yes, she does.
Okay, so
I've mentioned the poop word, so she's all attention.
Okay,
pretending to sleep over here, but I know her.
You should have spelled it.
Her tail just wagged.
Well, Cindy,
she's like, stupid mama. Just wait.
We wish you the best of luck with this problem. Hopefully that will be a solution for you. And I got to ask you, is that a California accent you have?
Is diabetes keeping you from enjoying life's special moments? At US Med, we understand the challenges you face, and we're here to help.
With US Med, I can finally manage my diabetes without it managing me.
US Med offers a wide range of services to simplify your diabetes care. Personalized care plans, convenient access to cutting-edge diabetes tech, and knowledgeable support. Plus, we'll check your insurance so your diabetes care may be covered at little or no cost to you.
With US Med, I feel confident and control of my diabetes. I can finally live my life to the fullest.
Don't let diabetes hold you back. Choose US Med and experience better birthdays, better adventures, better anniversaries, and better everything. Call now. US Med. Better service. Better care. 800-434-5019. 800-434-5019. 800-434-5019. That's 800-434-5019.
Well, my friend, we are coming to you live from Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay Convention Center this week, and we simply don't have time for all of the guests within this radio show. If you want to hear more and pick up on some of the great items before they're in stores, head on over to our website and listen to the extended version of Animal Radio this week. That's animalradio.com. Wow, I never knew we had so many dancers, good dancers here as we all dance in our booth, the Animal Radio booth. Booth 1609 here at SuperZoo in Las Vegas, the Mandalay Bay Convention Center. It is the new pet product special, and we're also answering your phone calls as we usually do. Hey, Marge, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good. Where are you calling from today?
Well, right now I'm in Oklahoma.
You a truck driver?
Yes.
Okay.
I have a English Mastiff. She's 8 months old, and I had her in a training for a while to be able to walk without dragging me across the street and to come on a halt command. But she does real good at halt command at home. Like if she's in the backyard and I yell halt, she comes right to me. But when I stop on the road, like I always try to stop where there's an open field where I can let her run. She doesn't come on the halt command when I tell her. And I use treats like when she starts coming to me. Finally, I tell her come, and then I give her a treat. But it seems like she just ignores me when I'm yelling halt for her to come to me.
Well, she's 8 months old, and what you said is real interesting that you use treats because that's a good technique. But just so you know, until your dog is able to come to you whenever you call, you probably shouldn't let her off leash in strange places. That's probably something you shouldn't do. And the way to train your dog to come to you, it's a good technique with treats. When she's really into treats, you have a leash on her, and you just sort of stand there and let the leash out and tell her to come. And when she comes, you give her a treat. And you do it over and over and over again, and then you stop giving her treats, but you give her affection. One thing you don't want to do, a lot of people do that I see, they make a terrible mistake. They get really frustrated when their dog doesn't come. And then when their dog finally does come, they punish the dog. So if you're doing that, you're sending the dog a message, good for you, girl, because you don't want to do that. Now, the reason why your dog doesn't come when you're in a strange place and you let her go in a field is because there's way more interesting things than you in that field that she's distracted by. And if there's more fun away from you than there is with you, she's going to go to where the fun is, especially at 8 months old. She's going to want to explore, and she's going to want to go kooky, and she is not going to pay any attention to you until she learns to respect you and look at you as a leader. And I would not let her off a leash if I were you, unless it's a fenced place, because she is not going to pay attention to you for a while. And as I told one caller, remember, you may train your dog 15, 20 minutes a day, but your dog is watching you another 23 hours and 45 minutes a day, and whatever you're doing, you're teaching your dog, whether you're a leader or you're not. So you've got to act like a leader and check yourself before you wreck yourself constantly when you're with a dog. You got to think about what you're doing and how you're acting. Act like a leader, and your dog will treat you like a leader. But remember, you've got to work with your dog every day on this exercise until she learns to come to you every single time you call, because if not, what happens is one day your dog gets hit by a car.
Well, that's why I always go in a big open field where we're not by anything. Okay, I just felt bad because she doesn't get a whole lot of exercise, and when we
well, there you go. There you go. That's the number one cardinal rule of teaching a dog that you're a leader is you can't feel bad. Okay? If you feel bad, you've instantly lost. When you feel bad inside, you are not a leader. You're not treating your dog like a leader. You're not being a leader. What you're doing is you're having a human emotion of guilt. And when you feel guilty, you cannot be an effective leader of a dog.
Okay, I listened to you guys. I just found you guys a couple weeks ago, so I've been listening to it. I just thought maybe I'm just expecting too much too soon.
Well, you are, girlfriend. She's only 8 months old. You can get one of those 50-foot retractable leashes, too, and you can let her go and pay no attention to you, and let her do her thing. Right. And then you call her, you say, come, and if she doesn't pay attention to you, give a little jolt. Give a little tug of the leash. Come.
Okay.
Give a little jolt. Okay. Only do it twice, though. If she doesn't listen, retract the leash, bring it in, stop talking, stand there, and when she starts paying attention to you, you look at her and go, good dog. Then do it over and over and over and over and over again. Never stop until she learns to stop what she's doing. I have a dog. He could be chasing a bunny, and I'll go, hey, stop. And he stops in his tracks and comes to me. that takes months and months and months of work.
Okay, all right. That's probably what I needed to hear. I do have one question. On these English Mastiffs, are they good dogs for, are they stubborn, or are they, like I know, like I used to have a Shar-Pei, and I couldn't do anything with that Shar-Pei. But these English Mastiffs, are they good dogs?
The only dogs that I've ever... The only dogs that, it's hard to train them to do stuff. It's not that they're stubborn. It's just because of the way they are. Their breed, are chow dogs and also huskies and malamutes. They're kind of aloof. They're kind of hard to train. They don't act like your normal dog. They kind of act like cats. So they're a little bit different, and you have to treat them differently. They're powerful dogs, and they're bred to pull sleds. And chow dogs, I guess, at one time guarded palaces, and so they're very independent. But I don't really have much experience with an English Mastiff, although a lot of people are getting those dogs now. I would just assume, Dr. Debbie probably know more than me, that, pretty much they're like any other dog, and you just got to be their leader.
Okay, well, I appreciate you guys talking to me, and I'm not giving up on her, that's for sure.
Don't give up on her, but stop feeling guilty. That's a human emotion. Dogs don't feel guilt. You shouldn't either.
Okay, I won't. I'll get a longer leash. I have a walking leash, and then I have one of those the ones that she can retract out, but I don't think it's 50 feet, so I'll get one of those.
Good luck to you, Marge.
Well, that's all we have for today. We thank you so much for listening. And remember to visit us over at animalradio.com and download the Animal Radio app. It is a free download. It doesn't cost you a single cent to listen to Animal Radio whenever you want and ask the questions that you have of our dream team whenever you want. We'll see you next week right here for more Animal Radio.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This is Animal Radio Network.